Hello indie game fans, how is it already November? With the upcoming release of new consoles, this month seems to be jam-packed with bigger titles, but some indies did manage to sneak through. I do come bearing some bad news with the delay of the gorgeous time-bending RPG Chris Tales to 2021, but nevertheless, we shall march on with the top 10 best upcoming indie games of the month. We begin with the retro first-person shooter Prodeus, which I am very excited about. Since if you look closely, this can be considered a pixel art title, but using the 3D retro look. With the music, gunplay and bloody, gory visuals, this will no doubt be compared to Doom, and I'm happy to see a very classically designed one of these being made in 2020. Simply looks awesome, but do bear in mind that this is releasing in early access, so we'll see how much content there is. A number of tycoon and base building games have decided to launch in November, with Mars Horizon being of interest. This has you managing a space agency, constructing buildings for research, designing and building your own rockets, and so on. I like the look, which really works for a tycoon game, though I'm curious about the amount of physics simulation, whether it will be on the level of something like a Kerbal space program, but given that it was created with the European Space Agency, the accuracy should be there.
Deep in the heart of Midgard's dungeons, an ancient evil has awoken.
RUNE 2 Decapitation Edition might not seem like an indie game at the outset, but stay a while and listen as I have a tale for you. This was released on the Epic Store in November last year, but a rocky launch and the subsequent sabotage by and closure of the original developer, one Human Hit Studios of The Quiet Man infamy, led to this game, which required work after launch, to be more or less abandoned. Out of the ashes rose Studio 369 to pick up the pieces, and they seem to have done quite a bit of work on this, refreshing the open world structure, quest system, combat system, added new dungeons and so on, so here's hoping that it's much better this time around.
I am Hel, ruler of the underworld, daughter of the foul trickster Loki, and the one who has called you forth to join me.
Let the skies bellow with thunder upon thee.
We have the chance of light, but some men only see what is to gain. In water, in stone, in fire.
The first next-gen indie game covered here is the Xbox Series X exclusive, the Falconeer, but don't worry, it will also be on Steam. It's a gorgeous looking aerial combat game where you ride on a giant bird, assaulting land fortresses, fleets of ships, and airborne targets as you explore this mysterious open world. It really looks stunning and should look even better on next-gen hardware and TVs.
What went before? What future? What be the right path?
I don't naturally have an affinity for this genre, since it is full of boring planes and modern aerial vehicles, but add in a giant bird and fantasy elements and you got my attention.
I flew. I carried the splinters. I carried the souls, all except my own.
I I think I have more of a fondness for airports rather than airplanes, with special shoutout going to Singapore's own Changi Airport, and Skyhaven is a tycoon game for this exact scenario. Build and manage an airport, from scheduling flights, adding amenities, laying out the runways, immigration counters, and so on. Wonderful low poly look, and I guess this will have to do while we cannot travel. A PS5 entry makes an appearance with The Pathless, another beautiful looking game where you play as a hunter and her eagle, exploring a vast, mysterious forest in order to dispel a curse of darkness. This is from the developer of Abzu, so you know the art direction will be on point, with the fire effects and massive, never-ending landscapes really giving me chills even in the trailer. I hope it looks just as good in motion, and I have very high hopes for this. I remember covering Dismantle earlier this year, but this got a significant delay of a few months, so here's hoping that this date is firm. It is a survival game set in a zombie apocalypse, which is quite standard, but has gathering, crafting, harvesting, hunting, and farming, and does not look as scary as most other zombie survival games. I love city builders, and one of the most impressive and promising looking games is Kingdoms Reborn, made more or less by a solo developer with some help on audio, but just admire how fantastic this looks. This seems like it controls like a traditional real-time strategy game, very Age of Empires-like in nature, and there's even multiplayer support, although you don't have to worry about direct combat. I like the variety of the biomes, of how it is a seamless open world and there are other non-combat factors to worry about. A real stunner, I'm eager to see what the state of early access is, and if I can recommend this title.
The journalist! Nesbert said you'd be coming. There's a bug snack right over there. Do me a favor and take my snack trap.
Stranger, I could use your help. This bunger goes wild for ketchup. Use it to lead the bunger over yonder.
The adorable Bugsnax wowed with its presentation and theme, so of course it's high on the list. From the developers of Octodad, this has you exploring an island in search of an explorer who has gone missing, where you end up capturing various Bugsnax to help the people in the town, slowly uncovering the mystery as to what happened. In early preview gameplay that I have seen, this is more of a puzzle adventure game, where you must figure out the behavior of the Bugsnax in order to capture them, and then there's the whole weirdness of feeding Bugsnax to people, which will result in one of their limbs turning into said food. It's very weird with a bit of body horror, but it's cute and colourful and should be fun.
Now get going and try not to fall off a cliff.
You're telling me to go out and hunt? as long as the demons rule this island, foraging is too great a burden for the humans alone.
A title which I've had my eye on for a very long time, Sakuna of Rise and Ruin finally launches next month. It is an action platformer where you play as the Harvest Goddess banished to an island which she has to reclaim from demons.
Your divinity dictates that you must be the one to act, my princess.
On top of fantastic combat animations, there's a farming aspect as well, where you till the land, sort the seeds, plant rice, harvest, thresh, hull, and finally cook and enjoy eating rice.
If we don't go fetch the others, they'll never find this place.
Princess, this is no time for a royal nap.
Alright, fine.
Goddess, should we plant something in this field?
I have some rice husks right here.
We plant rice. Sakuna grows strong, yes?
It's a stereotype, but as an Asian person, I cannot go against a game which has rice is power in its trailer, but for looking fantastic on top of that, it takes the #1 spot. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos and I will see you after the jump.
Sakuna of Rice and Ruin!